Next to me is the MTech Auto G82 Revozsport M4 time attack build. And this car has gone through a couple iterations if you've been following along on the channel. And my last video about this car, we took it to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park Grand Prix track where it put down a 125.7 on stock power. At the end of that video, go check it out. I gave some recommendations to how to make this car even better. And MTech Auto has done just that. For now, we have stiffer spring rates, we have rear Aero bump stops, we actually put a downpipe and we tuned the car on a BM3 Stage 1 tune. We'll lighten the car a little bit more with the carbon front hood. So let's take it out on track today here at Shannonville Motorsports Park to see if we can be the fastest street car to ever go around this track. Let's go. So guys, right off the bat, MTech Auto, Revozsport, you guys have built an absolutely amazing car. And it's unfortunate, you know, at these open lapping days, you're gonna hit some traffic, but the 147 is definitely there. I did a 148.3. It's there. You know, Nankang Sierra say last one, maybe two hot laps with a heavy car like this. By the third lap, they're definitely suboptimal. So I just got to get out there, try to find a clean lap. Honestly, shout out to Revozsport, shout out to MTech, building such an amazing car. If you have a BMW, Audi, Porsche, or any car for that matter, check us out. We're in the GTA in Thornhill. They absolutely amazing, meticulous. They know what they're doing, as you can clearly see with this car. So let's head back out there, guys. Let's go. Let's see if we can find that 47 full attack. don't think I can string it together today. Gotta leave something for next time. I'm happy with the 149. I'm happy with the 148. Whew. We did a 48.97. We did a 48.3 earlier. No 57 today, but it's definitely there. It's definitely there. Whew. So we're here in the garage a few days later, and it's pretty surreal to go confidently sub 150 at SMP, and this car is only going to continue to develop. We're only getting started. So a little bit about where the car is now and where it's headed. It was on 200 treadwear, 295 square Nankang CRS with a BM3 stage 1 tune. So both of which can be optimized, right? So we can go with a wider tire or with a stickier compound, or both, something like a Trofeo RS or a Supercar 3R. Of course, these cars make crazy power. We're on a BM3 stage 1, like I said, so we'll move to a custom tune. But the BM3, like, the torque comes on really, really aggressively, which does unsettle the car. Even if you have really good throttle control, it does just, the power just so aggressive, it just kicks in so quickly. So we can both smooth out the power band as well as increase the torque and horsepower figures, and maybe even a splash of E. So in the cards is some more weight reduction as well. So things like a battery, potentially carbon doors, the trunk mechanism that automatically opens and closes. The trunk is still there, has a full interior minus the seats, of course. But what I mean by that is like the sound system, sound deadening, that sort of thing. That's well over 200 pounds gone. So I'm just absolutely blown away by what Revozsport and MTech have done. And really, like I said, we're just getting started. And this was the first shakedown after some of the changes we've made since Motorsport GP. So the car has custom MTech Auto AGT two-way adjustable coilovers. And before with the GT4 Aero or stock, the car was great. But once we put on the Revozsport Aero, the shocks just couldn't handle it, right? So we had to custom valve them. We went with a 30K rear divorce spring, which sounds like a lot, but at the wheel, once you calculate, it's not that much. A 14K front with Aero bump stops. So how Aero bump stops work is once the springs compress a certain amount from the Aero, they actually increase the spring rate further, the ones we're using, and to a point where they actually ride on the bump stops themselves, such that, you know, you're really using the Aero to push those tires into the ground. On a really smooth track like Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, it's going to be amazing. At Shannonville, where it was a little bit bumpy, there were some sections where the car wasn't really all that settled. However, it was still absolutely amazing. And honestly, with the ability to do custom valving with AGT, to choose your spring rate, to do custom damping curves, these coilovers are my favorite budget-friendly coilover. And this set was around $5,000 Canadian, which sounds like a lot, but really those are like half the price of my my Nitron R3s on my M2 competition, or similar high-end coilovers such as AST, MCS, or Moton. So I'm really happy with the suspension setup. The only thing that I think the higher end coilovers do just a little bit better is some of the high speed damping control, like those little small, fast, high piston speed movements, hitting curbs, those little imperfections and bumps on the track. But wow, these are an amazing set of coilovers, especially for the price. Next, shout out to BBT, no, not bubble tea, but the brand of spherical bushings that we're using, and adjustable arms. So amazing thing is, once we're happy with the setup, they can actually make custom length, solid piece arms if we wanted. That won't loosen up or need much maintenance. Like with adjustable arms, like with a lot of stuff on the market, they do get loose over time, but these arms, we put the car back on the alignment machine. It was exactly the way we said it, with a little small change in toe, but still really happy. No complaints. Really excited to be working with them. So far, so good. Next, the custom MTR forged wheels. One piece, no spacer needed for the G8X platform, and we're fitting 11J square. These are proven on the track. I have a set on my M2 competition as well, and they take abuse. They're not the lightest, but they're super strong, and they're built to whatever spec you need. So 11J square, no spacer, really happy, and I think they look absolutely amazing. Of course, MTech Auto did their magic. They balanced the cross weight of the vehicle. They dialed in a slight rake to my liking so that the car rotates a bit more in the slower stuff when the Aero is not really working, right? So hairpins, I can get it kind of rotated very quickly. On the brakes, it just comes around really nicely. But in the higher speed stuff, when the Aero starts to work, a slight rake actually increases the rear angle of attack slightly and maybe helps a little bit with the ground effects to suck the car to the pavement. But you know, these cars don't have flat bottom, but if you look at it, it's pretty flat, but still, maybe that is a minimal effect, but I'm super happy with how the car feels dynamically. They did an amazing job with the alignment. It has minus 3.8 in the front, minus 3 in the rear, but honestly, after testing it at Shannonville, it could definitely use more, especially in the front, maybe closer to 4.5 even. That wouldn't even be too much for these cars with the McPherson struts, right? Of course, they corrected the bump steer, has a seat, the cage, the harness. I'm really happy with how this car is coming along. It just needs to be lighter and change up the power band a little bit. But to add, you know, I drove this car to and from the track. It's not super low. It's not super stiff. It's, you know, the downpipe has a cat. And besides the seat and the harness, it could very well be driven on the street, right? It fits within GLTC street mod class. So, you know, the splitter is 4 inches, so it's not crazy sticking out. The wing is not super massive. It's within the confines of the roof and the body width. But 4 bolts, I could take the seat out, put in another seat, and I could definitely street drive this thing. So next steps, wider and stickier tires, tune it, dial in the alignment even more, move to solid arms potentially, and more weight reduction. But it's the end of the season here in Canada. It's November now. It's getting too cold, but we hope to try to find a day at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park Grand Prix track to see what this thing can do, or maybe Toronto Motorsports Park on a whim. But to everyone, thanks for watching and following along our journey with the G82 M4. And as always, if you have a BMW, Audi, Porsche, or any car for that matter, come check out MTech Auto. They do general maintenance, track prep, modifications, or if you want any of the parts that I mentioned, reach out. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.